Hello, everyone. It's Maddie with SpectrumArtCreations.com. And guess what? I've got something awesome today. We're going to be playing with stencils, die cuts, and embossing folders. Oh, and inks. So if you like any of those, if you like stencils, hold on tight. If you like embossing folders, just wait. If you like die cutting, do I have something to show you? And if you like inking, well, you better hold on tight because we're about to have a whole lot of fun. On the other hand, if you're like, well, I'm not really good at that, or, I've been meaning to try it, or I've got some stuff, but, I don't know what to do with it. Well, guess what? This is where we're going to go today. We're going to have a whole lot of fun just playing around and experimenting with things that you might have already, might not have. I know a lot of our customers that join us for the Saturday lives have already purchased some of these. So again, this is something that I had promised I would come on and show you guys how to use. And if you do not have them in your stash, well, I'm going to show you what we do have in stock. And I'm also going to show you a whole bunch of samples at the end. Plus, we're going to talk about a free gift card giveaway or two, maybe three gift cards, maybe four. So hang tight. Like I said, it's going to be a ride today. So let's start by looking at what we have on the table that we're going to be working with in case you want to work along or craft along with us. The first thing we're going to have is, well, let's start on this side. This is the teacup floral, or floral teacup, excuse me, 5x7 embossing folder. So again, beautiful embossing folder, which also includes the die to cut it out, okay? So if you notice in the packaging, sometimes they will say that it includes the die. Either it will say it here or it'll say it up here. So I'll show you again when we go through what's in-house, you'll see what I mean, that, you just got to look at the packaging. Um, so this is already a two set. You get the die and you get the glorious, and I mean beautiful embossing folder. Then if you want, you can also have the stencils as a separate addition, okay? Now, it's not just a stencil, so don't confuse it. This is a layering stencil, okay? The layering stencil works with the 3D embossing and also the die, so it all flows together. Now, if you notice here, you'll notice it's not one stencil. In this case, there are 10 different stencils. And this is what allows you to create all those beautiful details that typically, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm usually a little bit of a struggle with coloring. This kind of takes that out of the equation because you're going to get flawless results every single time, no matter what colors you choose to use. Okay, so again, it is not one, but 10, and they do vary depending on the set that you purchase. You can use them independently, meaning, of course, you can just get this set, or you could just get this, but together also they are magic. So I'm going to show you how to work those. Now, I'm also going to be working with two other products. Well, maybe three. This is what I mean. These are the Lisa Horton Cloud 9 ink pads. They are a dye-based pigment pad. They are beautiful as far as blendability and color saturation and smoothness, non-paper warping, just great. So I've got Surf's Up and I've got Pina Colada, okay, that we're going to be working with today. Now, in addition to that, I could just work with ink pads and that would be fine. But one thing that a lot of times people struggle with is the re-inkers. So these are the re-inkers. Again, these are dye and pigment based because these are the interference. So there are two different kinds of inks here. Then let me explain it to you. This is the Cloud 9 dye based, right? This is, and they're matte, by the way, this is the Cloud 9 interference ink. So this is a dye and pigment ink. If you notice, the packaging is different, of course, in where it says here interference, right? So we've got that. But do you notice the color is kind of different? These are one color pads, meaning this is your blue, this is your yellow, there's pink, there's green, there's browns, there's all kinds of amazing colors, right? But these have two colors on the lid, and the reason why is because they are interference ink, meaning they look different on white paper versus black paper. And again, we can do a whole nother video on interference inks. So you'll see that there will be two colors, blue and purple, for example. So this will be your blue if you're working on white. This will be your gray if you're working on white. This will be your gorgeous mango if you're working on white. But the other side is if you're working on black. So you're in essence getting almost two ink pads per pad itself, okay? Because it will turn different colors on different papers. Okay, however, for today, I'm thinking that we're going to work with these. We might bring one of those in, but I'm thinking we'll work with these because I want to show you the difference between that and the re-inkers. So the re-inkers come in both, okay? They come in regular ink colors and also in interference, okay? Both of these happen to be interference ink re-inkers. Now, why do I want to show you the re-inkers versus just using the pads? Well, because I think sometimes people kind of think that re-inkers are just for re-inking, and that is not true. Re-inkers can do basically the same thing as your pads, right? Because you can ink with them, and we'll do that today. But you can also add them onto your pastes. You can make backgrounds. You can add water and watercolor with them. You can add them to different mediums. So they do that and then some. So don't shy away necessarily from re-inkers. And if you are thinking, well, I don't know, you might even want to start with the re-inkers. Use them. So that's just something that I wanted to kind of point out today. We're going to use both of those to make sure that we see that they can both work just as well. Okay, what else? The other tip I was going to give you guys is you can actually, if you don't want to keep this, I mean, you can, but this packaging is so nice that if you get the whole set, you can actually store the whole set in here. And then this way, you'll have everything ready to go for when you are working or whenever you need to pull it back out, you see? And yes, sure, you can probably slide that in there if you wanted to, if you wanted to keep it. Of course, I've removed it out of the plastic bag, but yeah, actually it fits perfect. So you can keep that as well. But this is a great way to keep your entire set and not lose any of your stencils, your die, or your embossing folder. Okay, so are we ready to work? The other thing that you're going to need to craft along today are going to be some brushes, okay? So get yourself some brushes, whether it's these, we have these in store. These happen to be from Pink Fresh Studios, but Lisa Horton also has her own. Or if you want to use the other ones, hang on, let me get them. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. We also have them in the smaller size, which is nice sometimes for when you have like really small details that you want to add, and we'll look at those later. But I think for today, we can get away with those. The other ones are these, of course, that we also have in store, and we have them singles, we have them in colors, so you can choose to use those as well. The other thing that I'm going to be using today is going to be the Lisa Horton Ultimate, which I think almost everybody who's been here for a little bit is quite familiar with it. But if you have not, or if you have not joined us for our live Saturday sales, where I do a lot of demoing and I show, new products that are hitting the market, then you might not have seen this, or you might have seen it and just kind of wondered like, okay, it's another tool. No, not really. It's a pretty awesome tool. So this is the Ultimate 2. There is an Ultimate 1 as well. This beauty is a multi-station. It has everything you need. It has a scoreboard, okay? On that side, it's got a peg system here. And if you notice, you see, there are little holes here on the side of the stencils, which will coincide with your Lisa Horton Ultimate 2. Now, I know you're thinking, well, that's kind of nice, but then I would have to replace all of my stencils. No, not at all, because, and let me make sure, sometimes I don't put them back, by the way, so that's my own fault. But let's take a look. Down here, I sure did not see. I am gonna hope that I still have them all in here. Okay, I'm missing the converter. Hang on one second. I know where it's at. Here it is. So your base comes with this piece right here. Okay. This is the peg die, which allows you to transform basically any other stencils that you have in your stash to work with this system. Okay, as you can see, they will fit right over the little pegs. So, and you have a choice. You can either punch your stencils using this as a template, or you can simply just adhere this to it. Just temporarily place some tape. You might have noticed in the beginning, I removed some tape, and that's why I simply washi tape my stencils, whatever brand they may be, and then I convert them into this. So it includes this. It also includes this double-ended tool. And on one side, you've got this really cool little stylus ball tip tool, which of course is great for scoring and all that. And if you notice, there's also three more heads, bigger, smaller, and then the pokey tool. And all you do is simply remove these, okay? And then replace them with whatever head you'd like. So say, for example, I took off one of those other heads. I use this mostly for embossing. I'm sorry, for, oh gosh, I just went blank. Madison. Scoring. There you go. So this is on one side. And again, you can replace the heads. And on the other side, it's got the wax tip, okay? So it's great for picking up jewels and stuff like that, little papers or whatnot. So it's a multi-purpose tool, which is included in here, as well as these, and also this as well. And it's got a compartment that slides in and out. Now, we won't be using those today, but I figure I'd show you that in case you're wondering, what am I using and why am I using it and how does it work? Now, there are many other pieces, by the way, and we can do a whole thing on that. There is the four-way stamping platform with the multi-tool. There is the actual grid itself, which is a 9 by 9.5 grid for your card making and all that, but we don't really need that today. There is also a magnetic platform that also fits in here. Okay, so there's all kinds of things. Like I said, it's like an all-in-one station. And if you want to know more about it, by all means, just leave it in the comments and say, can you do a little more in-depth review on the ultimate kit or tool, excuse me. But for today, all we're going to do is use our tacky mat, okay? And you can clean this right underneath the water. You can just rinse it out in the sink. I always keep these to kind of keep them protected, just to make sure I don't get dust and, you know, maybe dog hair. If you have cats, maybe you don't want to be getting all that. Now, when you first get it, it's super sticky. And then as you use it and you rinse it, you might think, oh no, that's lost its stickiness. It has not. It actually is quite sticky, and we're going to work on that, and I'm going to show you why. Now, when you use this, you're not going to need any washi tape or anything like that, which is really, really nice. Okay, so that's it. We're going to use these, this, some of these right here, some of those, and some of these. So basically, I'm going to do this with 4 colors. Now, in the end, I'm going to show you, I'm going to move the interference ones out. I'm going to try to just stick to these to show you how with just 4 colors, we're going to be able to achieve a really beautiful card. In the end, I will show you lots of examples of all kinds of color combinations and cards and projects that you can make using this as well. But for today, we're going to keep it super simple. We are going to be very thrifty and just using 4 colors. And we're going to make something really pretty. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's get started. Okay, now I just grabbed a scrap piece of plain cardstock. What size is this? Well, let's take a look. It is, oh, there's a ruler, by the way, here and on the back as well. 5 by 5.5. 5 3/4. Again, it's just a scrap piece of plain white cardstock, nothing fancy, no specific measurement, just something big enough. To do a little bit of prepping, I'm going to turn this way. Oh, by the way, you can use this without the station if you just want to use the tacky mat. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm just going to put that on there. And as you can see, that's not going anywhere. Okay. Which is really nice. A tip that I have for you guys, well, a couple of tips. When you get your re-inkers, let me see if I have one unopened. I hope I do. Do I have an unopened one next to me? Yes, I do. They are going to look slightly different. They're going to look like this, okay? So when you open this, and the reason for this is to prevent leaks. Again, these come from the UK. So to prevent leaks or any kind of spillage, what you need to do is you need to take off the plastic, take off this cap, and when you open up this white cap, there's going to be a piece of foil. See the foil? There's going to be a piece of foil that you need to puncture. Then you'll simply press down your nib into your bottle and make sure you hear that click. It will click in place and then it's ready for use. Well, almost ready for use. The other thing that you need to think about is the fact that all the pigment has settled. You see it? It's kind of clumped in there. You will hear a ball in there. I don't know if the camera's probably going to drown out the sound, but there is a ball in here. And so you want to give it a really good shake and break up all that pigment. If you notice while I'm working, I lay mine sideways because rather than the pigment just sitting all clumped up on the bottom, it's got more room to go here long ways, right? So it helps me kind of disperse it a little quicker and it's quite thick. So, don't be shocked that when you're like mixing it, you want to mix it until you hear that ball bearing, and then you want to keep mixing it to make sure you get a really good mix, okay? Another thing that we need to do for setup, of course, is open up the ink pads. So these are going to have a protective plastic packaging as well. Well, oh, there it is. And so, carefully, don't cut yourself. You're going to puncture that and remove that plastic outside cover. It is ready for use. Okay, that doesn't need any shaking or anything. The other thing for setup, of course, is opening your stencil, your die set as well, which we already did. And then lastly, I have another tip for you. When it comes to the layering stencils, well, let's take everything back out anyway, because we're going to be using it, right? This not for just yet, and this not just yet. We're going to start with our stencils. Now, the stencils have numbers here in the corner. They're really hard to see. See them? There, I'm trying to put it into the glare so you guys can see. So all of the stencils have numbers. However, here is a tip that Lisa gave me herself, which I love. I did it to test it on number 10, and I love it. Do you see it? Hang on, let me show you the difference. Here's number 1, and here's number 10. Which one jumps out? Obviously, number 10. And the way she taught me how to do that was to simply take a Sharpie and kind of go in there and then just wipe. And what will happen is the ink will stay only in the number itself, except I did a very bad job here. This went up. There we go. Okay. So that's something else you might want to do to prep. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll be back when those are done. So again, I'm just kind of going in there, kind of messy like, and then all I have to do is wipe the excess. It comes right off while it's still, kind of wet, and you'll have your beautiful number 2. So number 1, oops, number 2 are now easy to see as opposed to that where not really, right? All right, let me finish those and I'll be back. Okie dokes. All of my stencils are done here. And now it's so much easier to see. See that? Okay, so we're going to get started because honestly, this comes together so quickly. I know a lot of it is going to be me talking, but I promise you the rest is going to be super, super quick. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, take our cardstock. We're going to line it up somewhat with the pegs, no immediate reason or, anything like that. We're going to take our number one stencil and just drop it in place. It just drops. That's it. It's as simple as that. Now, you want to, if you want to use your packaging as a reference to kind of get an idea, I can see this is going to be my saucer. I can see it's going to be these flowers right here. I can see it's going to have some flowers here in the background. And I can see there's a little sprig right here, which is this little highlighted area. Okay. See it right there, that little one? Okay. So I can see some of that right off the bat. If, however, you're not sure, oh goodness, I got marker everywhere. If, however, you're not sure, it's okay. Just go ahead and do the first one, have fun with it, kind of get an idea because it comes together like that. And then you can start changing up colors. And again, I'll show you some colorful examples, some shabby examples, some more, I don't know, not grungy examples. Anyway, I'll show you a bunch of examples here at the end, okay? But we're going to start by simply adding number one, and then we're going to grab some colors and play. Oh, you know what I need to get? I need to get my mat, because we are going to be doing a little bit of mixing. So we've got our yellow, we've got our blue, and you do not want to mix your interference with your, so once you've designated brushes for interference, keep them for interference. And once you've designated them for the regular inks, of course, they're dye-based, so any other dye base you can mix with. We're going to be using fruit salad. Did I tell you the colors? I'm sorry. Pina colada, serves up, fruit salad, which is like a pinky color. So, you know what? Probably use that one. That's probably the one I used before. And we're going to use Regal Gray. So let's find, I don't think I've used one yet. So let's grab a new one for gray/black. Okay. So we're going to need only 4 brushes for this. And let me get my little mat. Actually, I don't know where the mat is. So I am going to use my messy side of my Spectrum Art Creations palette card, okay? Which I'm just going to use that for mixing. I'm going to use my stained side, which of course I don't care because it's been stained. But doesn't it look pretty? It just keeps getting better the more I stain it. All right, here we go. Starting with number 1, we are going to, why not? Let's see. What colors do we want to use? Let's do the saucer in blue. So all we're going to do is grab a little bit of the blue and let me grab a scratch piece of paper because sometimes, I don't know about you, but I can be heavy-handed. And if you are heavy-handed, you might want to just kind of, you know, I mean, you don't think you pick up anything, but do you see how much color's in there? But I'm just going to get my brush kind of start. Whoa, that's a lot of color. You see that? Okay, so we're going to kind of get our brush started, and then I'm simply going to come in here into the saucer, or not saucer, the cup right here. And I'm just going to start swirling. If you guys are working with me, then that's wonderful. If not, we can also add some music to this. And again, if you're heavy-handed, start on the actual stencil itself and then come in from the sides like this, okay? I do want to have some shadow here on the bottom. So I'm going to go a little heavier here. You want to create those highlights. And here's the beauty to this system. If you, oh, first of all, do you see how the stencil is pretty much, you can even see it if you press it down, you can see where it's stuck. Not that it needs it, it's got the peg system. But if later on when you are done and you pull this back and you look at it and you decide, you know what? I don't really like that, or I didn't put enough color, then you know what? You can come back in and add more and decide, where you need to do some touches, some touch-ups. And if you notice, I'm just picking up the color from my palette right here. And then nothing goes to waste. I'm just picking it back up and adhering it, or brushing it on there, stenciling it. Okay, so we're going to go with that on that side. Now, this is part of a leaf. And again, we can refer back to the picture. And I think so are these. So what I'm going to do with those, I'm going to go with the piñata. So let's go ahead and bring in the yellow. Cap that for now. Again, I'm going to get my brush wet and started. Oof, lots of color in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in and do some of this up here, and maybe some of this, and some of this. Now, we're going to be making lots of different greens, by the way. So I'm not going to be like all super gun-ho on, a dark green from the beginning. I'm going to do some lighter, then we're going to do some darker, then we're going to do some in the middle. We're going to add more to some sides than others. Just realized there's a big glare there, isn't there? Maybe if I turn this on. Maybe. Well, that's kind of dark, isn't it? Well, it's the only way I'm going to get you not to have to stare at glare. So what I'll probably do is see if I can mess with the settings afterwards. Let me turn these side lights up too. Sorry, guys. Oh, that helps, I think. Yeah, sometimes, the ring lights are awesome, but sometimes they can be quite obnoxious on camera, right? Again, I'm using that as a reference, so I'm just going to put it over here to the side. And where were we? Yellow. Yes, we were doing some yellow here, just a little bit. Okay. And then we are going to take our blue again in order to make some green. How fun is that? So whatever is left on here, I'm just going to start lightly blending and see how I'm turning it to green. Sorry about that. Sadly, I do not know how to turn off the volume on that phone. I should probably look. Okay, so we've got a little bit of green going on there. Again, I can lift this and there's not going to be much to see right now. You're just going to be like, okay, um, there it is, right? But again, if later on I want to, or even now I decide, because I maybe made 2 or 3 of these already and I know what I'm looking for, I can always put it back down and then come back in and do any other touches that I need. But for right now, we are going to leave it just as it is, okay? We're going to move on to stencil number 2. Again, I should probably just put music and speed this up because you'll be shocked just how quickly this will come together. Number 2, I can see that this is going to be my flower right here. See it? It's my focal point. It's the center. So for that one, I'm going to grab the piña colada. Now, once again, we're going to shake it. And you only need a teeny, 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 tiny little drop. Like that's it. Like the smallest drop you can think of, start with that. You can always add more, right? So all we're going to do is grab our brush and pick that back up. It's just going to be absorbed right into the brush. Now, again, if you want to test it, you can. You'll see it right on there. We're going to pick that up and we're going to start gently going round and round. In order to fill in that flower. Now, you can choose if you want to do more around the edges versus the center, or more towards the center than the edges. Give it some highlight, some contrast. Oops, see, I almost came in heavy on there. I have too much on the brush, so I'm going to start off the side of the stencil and then gently bring it in. It happens. I'm going deeper around the edges, as you can see, and then I'm going to slowly try and I wonder one thing. What if we were to put something there? Do you think it would make a difference? So for example, what if I grabbed a scratch piece of paper and put it underneath? Would that kill the glare? Nope, because the glare is on top, Maddie. I guess if I did that, would that help? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. I'll keep this here for now so that you guys have more light. How's that? But all I'm doing is going around. If I want to pick up more, pick up more. I don't have to. I think it looks great, but again, this is again number 2, okay? And then what I want to do is I'm going to come back in with a little bit of that pina colada again. And I want to go more towards the center with the pina colada. There we go. And yeah, we can add some highlights too here and there. Why not? We can also, if you want to, again, just play. Come up here, like in the corners, the edges, and give it a little bit of yellow. You know, that looks kind of cute. See that? It's starting to take shape. So, all right, that is going to be stencil number 2. We can remove that. Take a look at it. Looks good. Happy. Great. Then we move on to number 3. Number 3, I can see on here is going to be this bigger flower right here, and then the little center dots here for our flower. So I'm going to come in with the pina colada again. Again, we're just working with 4 colors, guys. So I'm going to come in here, pick some of that up, get some of that yellow deposited on there. And you know what? We can come in, let's go intense with the yellow here. Let's put a lot of pigment on there to make it a more intense yellow. But I'm thinking we can also come in with a little bit of the gray, you know, to kind of give that some body. And believe me, there'll be a lot more definition once we do our embossing folder. Again, do you have to? No, they work separate, but it is nice. So again, teeny tiny drop. Like, I mean, you can barely see that, right? I can always add more. So I'm going to pick up some of that gray. I'm going to stamp some of it off because I do want to come in light and not very harshly. I'm going to just barely touch, and then I'm going to lift, and I'm going to see if I like it. I like it. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more. That looks good. And then I do want to add a little bit more of that yellow. I really want to try and intensify that yellow with the gray. I think that's going to look great. Let's take a look. Good. And if I want to intensify the sides of that, of this one right here, I can. I will come in heavy-handed on the edges, just the outside, okay? So the center here is just a lighter yellow than the edges. Oops, sorry, out of focus. There we go. Okay, that's it. Number 3 is done. Not hard at all, right? Look how pretty that's looking. Let's go back to let's go to number 4. Now, again, let's analyze number 4 because it's the first time we're using it. I can see the saucer now, right? I can see also these little pebbles up here What else do I see? And I see some greenery over here. Okay, so using that as my idea, my foundation, I am going to say that the saucer, what color should we do the saucer? Should we do it blue and gray since we're working with just those colors? Let's do it. It's going to match. And again, that is just like the beginning, right? Because you can come in, oops, I put a lot. See that? That's heavy. We can come in and use our Posca pens or our acrylic pens. We can use all kinds of other things to also, even other stencils, to add more to the saucer too. You know, and even the cup itself. You know, we could add florals, paisleys, anything you want. All right, so if you notice, I'm being more heavy on the edges than on towards the center. Okay, something like that I think looks great. These up here, I want to do something different with. I'm thinking we should try and go for an orange up there. So what I think I'm going to do, actually, I might still have some color on here. Let's see. Not enough. Let's see if we can come up with maybe an orangey color. But I want to get like really good saturation this time. So I'm going to pick up some of that, and I am going to intentionally be heavy-handed on those little berries. I guess they're berries. They would look cute and white too, you know? It could be any color. It could be anything you want them to be. All right, so I purposely went intense there, right? Now, here, I can see right here that this is giving me the outline. So I got to be somewhat gentle, right? But I do want to give it a little something. So I think I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to come back in with my gray. Actually, there's still some on here. See? See it? Not a whole lot, but some. And I'm going to just gently give those edges a little tippy tap there. And again, I can lift and see, what do I think? Do I think I need more? I see it. That's really, really nice. And I see those berries too. But I mentioned I wanted to come back in with a little bit of yellow on those berries and see if I can get almost an orangey kind of color. I think I need more. More of my yellow. Let's see if we can give it a orangey color, which I think we just achieved. So again, just using 4 colors, though. That's all we're going to limit ourselves to. Oh, very pretty. I like it. And then over here, we need some green. So let me clean that off. Add a little bit of yellow, right? Because these are some of our... And we could go for a fall color, like a yellowish orange. We could do this in fall colors too. But if we want to stick with that green, that's fine. I'm just going to get whatever is on here still left. Okay, and do that. There we go. Okay, so you can see how quickly that's coming together, right? Super quick, so easy. I'm not having to worry about staying within the lines or anything else. All right, let's move on to number 5. Okay, for number 5, this thing will stay. For number 5, we're going to bring in our stencil. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Lots of pretty details. So what is that going to do for us? That's going to give us an outline to our flower. And then I can see here that now we're going over some of those green leaves again. And then up here, the same thing again. So now we're going to be changing and giving those elements a little bit more depth. So let's see. For number 5, let's first start with our Regal Gray again. I don't think I have very much on here. It's pretty much all gone. But we'll try. I'm going to go lightly, again, in those areas to create some shading. I think I need a little bit more. I don't want to be very heavy. Yeah, I need a little bit more. Okay. Oopsie. It's amazing how I can make a mess with just 4 brushes, 2 little containers, and 2 little pads. Doesn't that shock you? It's like there's nothing on the table. How am I making a mess? I don't know. But I manage. I manage. Ooh, that's a lot of gray. It's beautiful color though. Let's take some of that off. And then I'm gonna again come in super, super, super gentle. Just kind of creating a little bit of that, those little veins or petals separating. Let's see. How does that look? Oh yeah, okay, I can see it, but not up here. So again, see the benefit of being able to lift too and not worry. I think that's the whole thing. Sometimes, when you're crafting, you're all like stressed out. And in this case, with these beautiful layering stencils, you don't have to be because you're like, "Pfft, I can't mess this up." You know, if I can mess it up, we're in good hands, right? Okay, and then we're gonna come in with whatever's left on this um, blue, and I'm going to try and intensify a little bit of some of those green areas. Not a whole lot. Oh, I had some on there. I keep forgetting to pick up from my palette card. Okay, just kind of up here maybe. Maybe here. A little bit here. Why not? Right? Let's give it a little something and break it up a little bit. I think that looks good. And by the way, you don't want to miss this. Do you see that bottom right there? Yep. Almost missed it. It's so thin that you can barely see it, but there's a little piece right there, and that's the bottom of the saucer. So I'm going to bring in some of my gray and then some of the blue. Oop, wrong color. And I'm just going to, kind of darken that a little bit. And these are those little details where I was saying the tiny brushes do come in handy, but you don't have to. Oh yeah, see, we have a darker shade on the bottom of the saucer because that's naturally what happened, right? The light would hit the top and the bottom would be darker. Okay, I want to bring in a little bit more blue. I can, just to intensify it. Okie dokies, there we go. Okay, I think we hit everything that was on here. Yes, 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 we did. Perfect. That's number 5. Let's go on to number 6. You see how quickly they come together? And again, this is with me doing a lot of talking. Okay. So number 6, we're going to do the green again because this is all greenery, all leaves. So let's pick up some blue. And now it's just a matter of, how intense do we want it? How much yellow, how much blue? So I'm going to start gentle. Trying to pick up some of this that's still on the mat. It's not a whole lot. Okay, a little bit more blue. Gentle at first because I can always add more, but I can't take away. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's add some yellow. Again, we're coming in with the pina colada. I just like saying the names. Pina colada, it's fun. Madison, don't crinkle, honey. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Madison's unwrapping something and it's crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. But cameras are usually pretty good about drowning out noises. I've noticed that. Plus, I've been playing with the settings, which, might not be a good thing, might be a good thing. I mean, I try to, I know I'm not very loud on videos, and I know you guys have given me that feedback, and by the way, I appreciate it. That sometimes I'm hard to hear. So I've been trying to speak up, and I've also been playing with the settings to enhance the volume and see if that helps. Oh, pretty, pretty. You see how we have different colors now on the leaves? Some are more like a limey green, some are more like a bluish green, some have a little bit more brown to them. So that's what you're looking for, right? And again, only with 2 pads. So I'm sorry, 2 pads and 2 re-inkers. Okay, so we are done with 6. Let's come in with number 7. Number 7 is going to be leaves over here. Okay. Let's see if we can, I don't know, intensify those a little bit more. So we're going to go with, oh, blue, I have some here. We're going to make a green again. And if I want to kind of give it a little darkness, I can also come in with my gray, or I can also come in with my gorgeous fruit salad and give it a brown, right? So again, play with your colors. If I add too much yellow, it's going to become a very yellowy kind of green, right? Almost like that lime green, you see it? Which is very similar to what we had over there. So actually, I'm going to come in with more blue and see if I can intensify the green. Make it a different color altogether, more intense. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, that's intense. I like it. Yes. And again, if I want to darken it, I can add just a pinch of the gray, just a pinch, or the red to give it a little brown, right? But in this case, I'm going to come in with a little bit of that gray, just gently on the sides, and that will do number 7. Okay, there we go. Let's bring in number 8. Number 8 has a lot of details like the handle, some shading down here. See how the cup is missing the bottom, and then some additional leaves here and some more leaves over here. So again, and again, I'm just limiting it to 4. If I wanted to come in with any of the other colors, you know, that would be fabulous. Like all of these colors would be amazing. Or I can also mix and match with my other inks, right? So I have all kinds of other shades of green here too. Or if I have the re-anchors, I can also bring them in to intensify. Okay, now you will notice that on number 8, great point. On number 8, I did add 2 little dots. Do you know why? Because I just realized that those have to be a different color. It's a way for me to stop myself. Um, those are a fold here on the flower, a fold here and a fold here, almost like a more intense area with color. And last time I made the mistake of painting them green, and then I actually, where's the original? I can show you. I thought I had it here. Yeah, here it is. Perfect. See what happened here? This is the original one that I did just to kind of play around. And again, that's what I suggest you do. But look how beautiful that is, even just plain. See this right here? That's this. I thought it was all supposed to be green, so I was just going to town doing green, and then I realized that this was not supposed to be green, and this was not supposed to be green. So, note to self. I marked mine. Hopefully that'll help you with yours. Okay, stay there. That's driving me crazy. Oh, but the glare drives me crazy too. I don't know which one's worse. Okay, onward. Let's go. So I know for this, I want to intensify probably that pink, right? Because it's a fold. So I'm going to purposely come in and kind of, again, this is where the smaller ones work much better with those details, right? Do you see how little we're using? I mean, it's such a tiny, tiny amount. And I'm probably even at that doing overkill, right? Okay, like that. And see the folds now? Yeah, now you get it, right? Yeah, live and learn, right? And that's okay. That first one, have fun with it. If it turns out beautiful and you love it and you're like, oh my goodness, great. If it does not, and you are like, I just boo-booed that, that's okay. That's okay too. You know, you keep that one as your reminder to kind of be like, oh yeah, next time I got to look out for those, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I did. I said, oopsie. Okay, I don't want to go too intense on these. because we've got some really intense greens already. So I don't want to go too nuts. If anything, I think I like these better as highlights almost. And again, you could be doing fall or Christmas. You know, it could be, you can make this almost like into a poinsettia if you wanted to. Yeah, see, that's cool. I like it. I like it with a little yellow. Not all yellow. And I bring just a tiny smidge of blue to make it green, but keep it highlighted. And then we've got the handle to deal with, right? So let's deal with that handle. Once again, do you want to do something different with it? Oh my goodness, did I just do that? Yes, I did. I just picked up the, it's okay, it comes right off. I just picked up the wrong brush, the wrong color. Okay, it happens. So now I'm going to bring in this blue, but I'm going to go heavy on purpose. Now again, I'm going to kind of start off the side of my stencil so I don't create a big old blotch. And then I'm going to come in intense. Why? Because I don't know, it breaks up the teacup, right? And I can pick it right up right off my stencil and just give it some intensity. I can bring in a little bit of gray too if I want to. But see, that breaks it up. That looks so cute. Okay, done with number 8. Number 9. Let's see, number 9. Okay, now we're going to get into a lot of those little veins, right? The heavier details on here. So we want to be purposely intense. So what we can do for that is we can bring in, first of all, some of our gorgeous fruit salad. I know, just hear me out. Fruit salad, right, on all the little veins here. And then I'm going to bring in my blue. And that's going to give me a brown almost color. If I need to make it more intense, we can also add the gray. But you see, now we've got brown out of our 2 colors. Pretty stinking cool. Let's do a little bit more here on this one. And then on this side, once again, oopsie. Once again, we've got some leaf highlights here. So let's do those. I think I'm going to bring in a little bit, just a little bit of the brown, just to kind of break it up some. So I don't have, you know, all the same kind of greens. Although we've been doing really good about purposely adding more blue or more green, making lighter and darker greens. But I think a little bit of the fruit salad or the gray would be good too. All right, let me try just to create a little bit of brown, just a tad, not much. And then I'm going to darken it just a little bit with whatever I have on here. Again, so that maybe the light's hitting one side more than the other as far as the cup is concerned. Let's take a look at that. Oh, that looks so pretty. So pretty. Okay, and we're down to number 10. That's it. How simple was that? Again, more details now, more little, oops, more little twigs, more little veins here. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time I think I'm going to come in with gray to break it up because we've done brown already. So let's give these some darker little twigs. Where did my gray go? The gorgeous regal gray. And although I'm sure you don't have to shake it every time you use it, I do like to shake it just to, I don't know, I guess ensure that I'm dispersing it properly. Okay, I think I got in there. Yes, I did. You see how dark it is now? Let's lift. Love. Love it. Okay, if there's anything that we look at now and we're like, I wish I would have, or I could have, or, but I'm pretty happy with mine. Hopefully you are happy with yours if you've been playing along. All right, now we are pretty much done with all of that. We can lift this from here because it looks great. We can put all of this. Let me clean up and I'll come right back. How's that? I was sitting here doing cleanup and then I realized maybe I should show you how easy it is to clean them up. So all you do is you take a little wipey or a microcloth or whatever you like, and that's it. You wipe them clean. See that? Good as new. And number 2. And then of course you can set them off to dry. And number 1. And we're done, okay? So, or of course you can also, like I said, grab a microcloth, excuse me, or a just paper towel, and then just quickly give them a quick dry, and they will be ready to go for next time, okay? Of course, if you're going to be doing a bunch of these back to back, you might, no, actually, you still probably want to clean them, especially if you're going to be changing and experimenting with different colors, different cups, different saucers. You don't want that stuff transferring. Now, if you're going to be doing several that are the same, then you can just wait till you're done and clean. You can do an assembly style, right? That'd be fun. Okay, we're ready? Didn't mean to take up your time showing you how I dry, but I wanted to show you how quickly they clean up because some of you might be wondering, oh, okay, so what about the inks? You said some of them were pigment and some of them were dye. Is it going to ruin? Not that it would ruin, because even if it stains it, I mean, it's still a stencil. You just use it, right? I have plenty of stencils that have stained permanently. They're still stencils. But now we're going to make this super easy. We are going to bring in our dye. And we are simply going to place it over our gorgeous piece here. I'm looking at that handle. I'm looking at the saucer. And I'm going to be die cutting 2 of these. I'm going to be cutting this one, and then I'm going to cut a black one because I'm going to be offsetting this, okay? Which is another thing that you can do with your, let me get my handprint. I could walk over to my switch, but then you guys wouldn't see me doing it, would you? So all you're going to do is obviously put your die on your die cutting platform. You're going to run it through. It's going to cut like butter. Reverse it. It went all the way through. And hopefully this washi tape will be gentle enough. I should have used my other Art by Marlene tape. Okay, good. That was not bad at all. It's been used before, so quite not so sticky at all. Okay. And there we have our gorgeous cup. But now we are not done. We are going to bring in our embossing folder, and we're going to position this in here. And it's quite easy to see. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but you can obviously see where it goes because you can match up, again, the bottom here and see that the handle. You can pretty much see all the details on there. So all you have to do is like 2 seconds and it's matched up. That's it. Now, if you want to keep it secure, once again, especially me because I'm showing you guys, so I'm fumbling everywhere. But if I was just going to run it through, it probably wouldn't even use the washi. You bring it back. Let's see what kind of sandwich we need to make here. I think that will work. Let's see. Okay, we're going to run it through. I'm going to bring it back. Okay. Put this away. And are you ready for the reveal? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh my goodness. It is divine. Wait till you guys see it. Again, I should have used my Art by Marlene tape. Maddie. I just had to tempt fate twice, didn't I? No? Okay. And up. And please don't tear my beautiful cup because I was lazy and did not get. I can also heat this. Oh, two things. If you have washi that is stuck and it's giving you a hard time, I find it very useful to put my thumb and then just roll it. If it's still giving you a fight, heat it. Simply heat it, and that's going to liquefy that adhesive and make it easier to remove, okay? So those are two tips. Don't just tear and then go, oh no, why? Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Look at this beauty, will ya? Oh, I know the camera's not going to do it justice because it's gorgeous. Oh, let me show you the back. Maybe. Look at the embossing. Is that insane? And then in the front, it's just incredible details. Like, oh my goodness. It's too bad it's not Feel-O-Vision. You can actually, see every little petal and crease. Do you see those petals now that I told you about? The ones that we wanted to kind of make a little darker? Isn't that a gorgeous piece? Now, I had already cut a black one. So to offset, you simply cut another black one and then you create, just slide it over slightly. You see that? And you create the shadow effect for it. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, I guess, show you a card. Okay. I'll finish it. I'll use this one actually so that you guys can see the card. And then, of course, if you want to, don't forget, you can always come in here and do a lot of additional shading and shadowing if you want. Does it need it? Absolutely not. That is just stunning, right? But I will put it on a card front and I'll be right back. Okay, and here we go. A super quick and awesome card. It opens up to reveal our inside so we can add our message, but you can see, oh, I hope you can see. I'll have to do some still photos because the camera's going to wash out the color, but hopefully you can see just how beautiful and how much dimension is on this card. If you're interested in learning how to make this card, just let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to show you how to do that. Um, of course, don't remember that you can add a whole bunch more to this. Again, stay put because I'm going to show you some additional beautiful photos from Lisa Horton's design team. And they've added bling and, again, you could stamp on the cup, you could decoupage on the cup, you could stencil the saucer, you can add liquid pearls. There's just so much that you, of course, can do. Now, don't forget that we're doing a giveaway. We are giving away gift cards after the first 20 comments are in. The gift cards will start coming. So make sure that you leave a comment down below. And of course, don't forget to share this in your crafty groups and with your friends, as well as to leave a thumbs up. It helps the channel. And guys, we really, really appreciate it. Oh my goodness. I was going to say I'm leaving the additional photos for the product, but you know what I forgot? I forgot to show you the what we have in store. You can always just visit SpectrumArtCreations.com and type in Lisa Horton, and then all of the Lisa Horton products, of course, will pop up. But just to kind of give you an idea, 'cause some of them are new releases, just really quickly, like this is a super gorgeous one here. This one's called the Festive Robin. And again, you can see just how gorgeous that's going to be. And you can even search some of these and see some of the projects already made. Here's another one of the new ones. This one's called the Framed Festive Baubles. Look at those ornaments for Christmas. And yes, they include the cutting die. So the die will cut out those frames as well. Um, there is, where is that other super incredible, gorgeous one here? This one is actually Bernie's favorite. When we met Lisa at Creativation NAMTA, this was just being released. Actually, it was a preview of it. And if you saw this embossed, this one's called Musical. Uh, it is incredible. But let me show you. I mean, I could go on. I have a box full of that I pulled for you guys from the store to show you some of the gorgeous um, pots, but I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can find my favorite. This is my favorite. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to have to do another video and show you this one. This one's called Waves and Baubles. And the dimension on this, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do this one. So that's another favorite. But again, we have also, let me see if I can show you quickly. Some stencils by themselves. See, look at the, I mean, sorry, stencils, some embossing folders by themselves. Look at these 3D embossing folders. Look at this one called Pipework. Um, what else can I show you? What is this one called? This one's Crazy Paint. That was amazing when I saw it. The actual ones that she brought to show us. This one's called Vintage Tiles. I mean, I could go on and on and on and inundate you, but feel free to go look through the store and see all the beautiful. Here's some more. I mean, I could keep going all night, guys, but you know what? Look, this one's called Sandstone Wall. This one's called Camellia Cluster. Isn't that amazing? Yes, and it includes the coordinating die. Oh, here's the cup. So again, I have mountains and mountains, not to mention all the inks available in store, stencils, dies, embossing folders, all of it is available for you to go check out and purchase and make your own amazing cards and projects. Now, hang on because I'm going to share a bunch of other project pictures with you so you can get even more inspiration. Don't forget that the products featured on this video and thousands more are available in our online stores. We have two stores to serve you, SpectrumArtCreations.com and our Etsy store, same name, Spectrum Art Creations. Also, we have live sales right here on this channel that you're on. Every week we have live sales and you can see the product live, you can shop live, you can chat live and make new friends, and we have lots of fun games and giveaways. And you can participate from the comfort of home. We bring the products from all around the world at the best prices directly to you, and then we ship them directly to your door worldwide. So I do hope that you'll join us for those because they're a whole lot of fun, and we combine shipping from all three stores, live, online, and Etsy. If you're not in our Facebook group yet, I hope that you will join because there is a whole lot of fun to be had there. Of course, you get to see, makes, and share yours as well from fellow artists all around the world. And in the Facebook group, we have even more challenges and giveaways. So there's another great way to win a lot of gift cards every month as well. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, well, I hope that you will. I really do. I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so that you can be notified of when we are live, when we have new videos, etc. Plus all the reasons that you see here on screen and so much more. Now, let's go over some of those really beautiful cards and projects that I had mentioned. Now, starting with this beautiful card right here, this one was done on black. And of course, you can use your interference inks to achieve that beautiful gold if you'd like, or maybe some alchemy waxes. This next one has the teacup as well with great texture on the background. And I love how it just kind of opens up almost like a step ladder. Beautiful colors as well. And you see the bling that has been placed in the center of the flower. What a great touch on that one. This is not the teacup. This is the butterfly stencil. And of course, once again, see, you can use the stencils by themselves. This is done with just the stencils, no embossing. This next one is done with the stencil and the embossing folder, and you can see how it really pops. The dimension on it is beautiful. And I love the quote, "Chin up, buttercup." That was so cute. This next one is another one that is done with just the stencils themselves, but look at all the colors. I mean, it was just kind of all, mixed in there, and it just looks beautiful. They blend magically. And we got to talk about blending too with Lisa Horton's inks because they're amazing for blending. Here is a different type of a cup. This one's gray with a purple flower, and I love how it's got almost like a picket fence lattice work kind of a background to it. Great for acetate. This beautiful yellow one is done with the teacup, but do you notice something? The teacup is not there. So you can use the flowers by themselves, and I definitely have to try that because it looks great. And we're going to see a few examples of that as well. This one here has the background like we saw with the stenciling, and the butterfly also was cut out. So again, done without the embossing folder, but you can see the beautiful effects that you get. This one is a very elegant one. It is almost monochromatic. It's black and white, but do you see that embossing folder in the back? That wooden one? We have that one, and it is gorgeous. And it looks beautiful in just white too. Now, you can also use the embossing folders by themselves because look at this. It is just embossed, nothing else, and it looks absolutely beautiful. This next one is so elegant. I love how they did the embossing folder in one color, but then they also left it in white, and then they made it almost seem like a continuous, um, you know, piece. And oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And that butterfly, again, you can fussy cut them out and use them that way as well. This one is very similar to that other continuous one, but it has been done with the stencils only. And look at that. I mean, gorgeous. Who would have thought that that's colored by hand? It is, but the stencils make it that easy to just never mess up. Here is the same one, the teacup, once again used with the flower only, no cup and no saucer. And I absolutely love the versatility of that. I didn't even, it didn't cross my mind to cut them out, but now I do. I'm going to cut them out. Um, this one, absolutely stunning. Look at the colors on it. Look at the details, the little veins on there. Just beautiful. This next one is just the stencils. Look at how beautiful. And I guess Karen designed this one. I love it. It almost looks like it's on fabric, but it is, a textured paper, or maybe it's been embossed. Looks beautiful with just a stencil. This next one is tons of color, just beautiful color. Look at this. Isn't that a great blend? It's gorgeous, and it's like an ombre. You can even do the background first and then run it through the embossing folder, and then that way you kind of get what you get, and I love that look. This next one sings to my heart because I love Harlequin on everything. But do you see how the cup, they've added little pearls maybe or little accents on the cup? You can do a whole bunch of stuff to the cup and the saucer as well, and I love that it's got more of that black gray leaves and backgrounds. Here is one with amazing dimension. Look at the dimension on this one. Stunning. And this next one is our cup again, of course, and it is the inspiration for the card that I made. This is the one that Lisa taught us in class, and I love, love, love how you can see through the acetate. And again, if you want a tutorial on how to make that one, do let me know. We can do it together. Super easy, lots of fun. Comes together in a snap. This one has more of those fall colors, I think, in my opinion. I think it kind of screams autumn. Love the layering, love the colors, browns, grays, creams, reds, greens, oranges, just beautiful. So again, don't forget that you can also alter them to go with the seasons. Look at this little basket here. Is that amazing? It's beautiful. Who wouldn't love to receive that card? Love the bling all over the place as well, little jewels here and there. And then this one for someone special, and it's done with just the um, stencils themselves, nothing else. And look how beautiful those colors look. That would be so easy to do, a bunch of them. And then this one is one of my favorites. I definitely have to try it because that, you see that shine and that glisten to it? That is done with the interference inks. And they have that beautiful sheen to them, and the colors are just phenomenal. So I have a couple more that I want to do for sure in the upcoming future, and I hope you guys will make some with me. Maybe we can even do a live and you can get your stuff ready. I'll get mine and we'll do them together. I think that'd be fun. Let me know if you like that idea. I do want to give some of the other stencils a whirl, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave this next video here with you so you guys can go hop over there and I will see you there. Sound like a plan? All right, I'll see you there.